Hi everyone. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about iridology. Okay, I'll show you some other different charts, but iridology is one of the most fascinating modalities that I use. I really love it. It's basically by looking, as I say, into the eyes, not around the eyes. It's about looking into the iris, and there is different markings in everyone's iris. Everyone's eyes are slightly different. Sorry, you might hear the dog in the background. Everyone's irises are slightly different, so the colours will be different, their markings will be different. Some people have very big pupils, other people have very, very small pupils. So each of these markings gives us an idea of something that's going on in that person's system. It can also be a sign of something that is running through their family, something that is passed down through generations. It could be either a genetic inheritance, or it could be just a general weakness. It may be something that there's never actually any major illness with it, but they do notice in all the different members of the family coming down, there is a bit of a weakness there. So why would you look at iridology? Well, I suppose the easiest answer for me is that I'm all about showing people how to be healthy. So it's not about waiting to get sick. It's about learning what makes your body strong so you don't get sick so often. So we have this kind of culture where we wait to get sick and then we go to our doctor and then we say, right, fix me. And sometimes it's not that easy. So we need to take some more ownership on this ourselves and start doing things on a regular basis that help to strengthen our body. You'll hear me say over and over again in these videos that our bodies are amazing. They're absolutely amazing at what they can do. If you give your body the right circumstances, if you give it the right conditions, it will work for you really, really well. Unless something unforeseen comes in, but in general health, it will work for you really well. Also, when you get sick, if you're feeding your body what it needs, it will actually heal itself quicker. So there's recently been some information in one of the newspapers about how one of the ministers in the UK is looking for healthy nutrition to be given to clients in hospital, that it speeds their recovery if they're eating well. Now to me and to all other nutritional therapists and naturopaths, that's quite an obvious thing that we should have been doing all along, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that it's being noticed, and that hopefully that will start getting implemented. So back to the iridology. So this is the chart that I normally use. This one here is by an iridologist called Peter Jackson Main. Absolutely amazing iridologist. I use this one because, well, Peter trained me, but also because I find it's a very, very good visual to show clients. So as I'm doing an iridology session, I will be taking photos of the eyes and I'll be showing the clients back to them what the eyes are showing, and I'll be comparing the eye to the chart and showing where the markings are. So this is one of them. There are lots of different charts. So here's another one. As you can see, a bit more complicated. And then here you can see it's not only the iris that we're looking at in iridology. This is actually the pupil. And you can tell by different areas where the pupil flattens. So we think our pupils are completely round, but they're not. They do flatten off slightly in areas where there has been some damage or weakness to the spine. So if the pupil flattens off slightly in an area, it can give an indication to a weakness in that area of the spine. So here you can see this particular chart is to do with the colon reflexes. So there's so much you can see. So I'm going to go back to the original, to Peter's one. So you can see here. Okay, so you can see you've got your left eye and your right eye. And in the middle area, this is going to be really awkward to try and do backwards, but in the middle area, you've got this area here, which is basically to do with the colon and to do with the small intestine. So you can see if there is any discoloration in that part of the eye, or if there is any inflamed conditions, like there will be whiteness to the eye, there'll be a thickening of a line around that area. You may see that it bulges or it indents more in certain areas. So that will tell you whether it is the large intestines, the ascending colon, the descending colon. You know, it'll tell you what part of the digestion the problem is in. Also, again, I'm going to look at it this way. So if you look here, okay, that area there is the kidneys. So if you were to see a marking on that area of the right eye, then you would basically be looking to see if there was any weakness in the kidney. Now, it doesn't mean that the person has full-on kidney disease. It means that there's a weakness there. Iridology does not diagnose. So it's for the iridologist, it's a way of finding where the weaknesses are in the person's system, and then it helps me to look at what needs to be strengthened in that person's body in order for them to actually get better. So by looking at the areas that are weak, we know where to strengthen. So if you look here, this is another chart. So this is the iris. Basically, there are 7 different layers. So each part of the iris coming out is a different part of the body that it correlates to. So if we see more markings in one of those areas, one of those particular rings, that's the part of the body that we're looking at. Is it the vital organs? Is it the inside organs? Is it the intestines? Is it the lymphatics? So one of the signs that I look for is what's called a lymphatic rosary, and it's where you get dots around the eye. And basically what that means is you're not clearing through the lymphatics properly. So it can give an awful lot of information. Now, I'm going to quickly find one more chart. I should have put it nearer the front. This one here. This is another one of my favourite charts. Just shows you different areas of the body can connect back to different emotions. So I often see when someone is extremely stressed, if they've been going through a lot of stress, and if they're holding it in their head, you'll see those markings. There'll be lines at the very top of the eye. So up here, again, I'm going to go back to Peter's chart. So you'll get lines up in these areas up here, okay? And what that shows is these markings, these lines, are stress markers. So basically you're looking at the eye to see whether someone is holding stress in their head, whether they need to learn how to release that stress in order for it to cause less damage to the body. And the other one stress sign that I normally look for is you get these rings in the eye. Now, I always say they never quite close. So to me, that's always a sign that you have put up with a lot of stress in your life. These are normally severe signs of stress. So it's normally a sign that you've put up with a lot of stress in your life, or you've been through some big events in your life that would have put a lot of stress on your body, but you've always found a way through. And that's where I see those gaps. That's what I see those as. So all in all, that's kind of giving you a little bit of information about iridology. So iridology is, as I say, it's not a diagnosis. You can't diagnose the disease with iridology. It's a way of looking for strengths and weaknesses in your body. It will show your strengths as well as your weaknesses, and then that helps you to gain knowledge on how you strengthen those areas that are weak, and by doing that you strengthen your chances of being healthy. So it's all about staying fit and healthy. If you are sick, it can really help to pinpoint where the root cause is. Because again, in naturopathy, what we do is look for the root cause. So that's it for today. And as usual, if you want any information or if you want to contact me, you can go to the website, the link's below. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Bye.